Members of St. John's and friends, I'm standing in the narthex of St. John the Evangelist Church here in Ottawa. A few moments ago, I thought I would just step outside and make this recording in front of the church sign at the corners of Elgin and Somerset Streets. It simply didn't work. There are far too many pedestrians, too much traffic, and too much noise and distractions on this lovely day to have any success at all in making the recording outside. So I've stepped indoors, where I just want to reflect with you for a moment on the very wonderful news that was shared in this community last Sunday. A letter was read from Bishop Shane Parker announcing the appointment of the Reverend Gary Vandermeer to be the next incumbent of St. John's Church. Gary comes to this parish from St. Anne's Church, Toronto, and he comes on February 1st. By all accounts, Gary's gifts and his experience will be a perfect match for this community going forward, facing the challenges and the opportunities of ministry together from this place. Until then, I look forward to serving as your priest in charge, along with Gordon, our musician, with Laura in the office, although only for a couple of short weeks now, with Deacon Carolyn, and with the wardens, and with all who call St. John's their church home. It's a privilege and a pleasure for me to be here with you at this time. I look forward to meeting with many of you this in the course of the week on our various Zoom gatherings, or here in church in person on Sunday, or even by the good old-fashioned way of the telephone, if that works. Please don't hesitate to be in touch should there be any way that we can be of help to you in these challenging and difficult times. I hope that this unseasonably warm weather has raised your spirits a little this week, but nonetheless, everyone is coping still with the many challenges that the pandemic has brought. So until we meet or work together in one or worship together, I bid you God be with you, God bless, and bye for now.
You know, the organ as a keyboard instrument developed over the centuries and developed in many different ways. Almost every country had its own style of organ music. And one of the ways that we trace different methods of composing for the organ is the development of the pedals. So for example, in the time of Bach, the organs had a full pedal board and it was fully used just as we use it today. In England at the same time, there were no pedals on the organ at all. It was just manuals. And yet the organ music is very exciting and interesting. John Stanley was a composer in England who was roughly contemporary with Johann Sebastian Bach, and he wrote a number of voluntaries for the organ. This particular piece I want to play for you today from his D minor voluntary number 7 contrasts the main keyboard of the organ with the upper keyboard that is lighter and has very sparkly stops on it. When I'm playing this piece, I think particularly of our dear parishioner, Myra Clowes. When this organ was built, she and her mother gave the money to buy a particular stop, and it's the stop that I use in this piece on the upper keyboard, and it's a tiny little bunch of pipes that are very sparkly and they add so much character to the sound, just as I think Myra adds so much character to our parish. Here is the Allegro, the third movement of the voluntary number 7 in D by John Stanley.